Man, oh man, welcome back for another exciting video. Y'all see what I got behind me? I told y'all a little while back that I didn't have the money for a Nova. Well, I do now. Finally have myself a Nova. 76 Nova. Slight lightning from rust. This rust is trying to turn this thing into a race car. Let me walk you around it and show it to you. So I picked this thing up week or so ago. Sorry I haven't had a video out in a while, Thanksgiving, things like that. But as you can tell, Mother Nature, she's trying to lighten it on up, turn it into a race car. Rear quarter is gone, as you can tell. Trunk pan is gone. That's the gas tank. It's rusted so bad that the trunk is literally about to fall out of it. This whole back part right here, rusted, gone. This side, this is what I call the Facebook Marketplace side right here. So you only take a picture of this side, and then whenever they come up, then they get to see the driver's side. Story is, I picked this thing up from Gulfport, Mississippi, and I don't know. I guess it sat out beside the salt water, and it just died. I mean, it's gone. It was clearly a drag car. I had to put my Camaro wheels on the back to get it to where it can move. She come with some slicks. Looks like some old Centerline style 15s. And it has a racing seat in it. Why do I know it's a racing seat? Well, because it says racing. One seat belt, interior stripped. It's got an aftermarket tack in it, water temperature sensor, oil pressure, and looks like battery. And then it's got the old drag racing style B&M shifter. Now some of y'all might be wondering, hey, why buy this piece of junk? I'm about to show you right now. This is why I bought it. It was pretty cheap, $700, but this is what's under the hood. So you got to watch out here. It's got this anti-theft device known as a rusted hood that cuts your hands if you try to open it. You got to be careful. But that's how you know if anybody steals it. You just say, let me see your hands, and if they're all cut up, you know it was them. Ouch, 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 ouch. Small block 350 right there, boys and girls. Long tube headers, MSD ignition, and the good thing is double hump heads. Step number one, as you can tell, she's been sitting for a long time. I mean, a long time. Let's see if hopefully we can get this thing to rotate over just a little bit by this wrench, and then we're going to pull the plugs out of it, put some oil down the cylinders just to give them some oil, and hopefully it rotates over off the starter. Let's give it a look see. Oh yeah. Oh, coming up on a compression. I hear compression rotating over fine. Let's pull the plugs out of this joker. Get a look at the plugs and see how it was running whenever it was being raced. What's nice about these MSD ignitions and these wires is all the wires are labeled, so we'll have some understanding of how they go back on. We're gonna go ahead and pull them all off. Get a look at the plugs. Hopefully not have to put any new plugs on it. I don't know if you guys have realized, spark plugs are getting out of hand. It's like all the spark plug companies have come together and decided to start charging $10 million for spark plugs. Before we get too excited, we got a crucial step. Let's check on the oil and see how it's doing. Man, oh man, I'm gonna say that's just recently been changed. Somebody might have been trying to get this turd running. Oil feels good, full right to where it needs to be. Doesn't smell like gas. Doesn't look like water. We might have us a good candidate of an engine here, guys. I want to pull these valve covers and see what's under them. It'd be so awesome if this thing had roller rockers and, you know, hopped up. But I doubt it. Somebody's definitely been tuning on it. Old stick welding rod right there. That's what I used to work on all my cars with for sure. Just stick weld everything on. Looks like an Edelbrock intake manifold on it. Another good thing I also forgot to mention, Hiley 4-bar double pumper. Choke mechanism is gone. I ain't got one of them. So if we get it running, carb feels freed up too. This baby is a race car. I don't know if y'all can tell, rain's coming in, so I need to get this party started. Let's start ripping these plugs out. Alright, we got the first plug loose. Finger tight. We're going to go ahead and pull it out and see how this tree fitty's been running. Well, not a lot of oil on it. It looks like she's been running richer than Elon Musk. So we're probably just going to clean these plugs up a little bit and go back in. Bosch Platinum plugs. Fairly new plug. Somebody might have been trying to get this turd running. Go ahead and set that right there. Let's get to the next one we can reach. I love long tube headers, but goodness gracious, it makes it a pain in the butt for changing plugs. I might even have to put a wrench on cylinder 4. I can reach 8 pretty good. Just as I figured. Not past finger tight. Same story. Running pretty rich. No oil on it though, so it's all good news right now. So here's the thing, guys. Sometimes with these long tube headers, you just can't get on them, and you gotta pull the wrench out. At least the guy who put them in did us a favor and only tightened them up finger tight. All right, here we go. Cylinder number 2. Same story. Running rich. Finally got plug number 4 out. Same story. Still just running rich, which we'll go with. And I'm not seeing oil. Good sign. Plug number 1. It's a little wet, but it's okay. Still running rich. Cylinder number 2. You can see this is, rain's been coming down on it. It's kind of rusted up the jacket some, but still rich. Ain't too bad. It's always fun with long tube headers, figuring out which ones you can get a spark plug socket on and which ones you got to put a wrench on, which ones need a wobble, which ones need an extension. Makes it a game of a jigsaw puzzle, really. Now I can put my peepers on cylinder number 7, so should be able to get it with a socket. Maybe. Should be able to. Can't get it with a socket. Need an extension. Alright, we've got all the plugs out. Same story on all of them. They're just looking pretty rich. We'll clean them up with this free wire brush. Come with the car. Like I said earlier, plugs are getting too expensive to be paying for. So I'm going to reuse what I can. Get the rebuild spray. Oh yeah. Call that refurbished. And it lets you know if you have any cuts on your hands too. Oh, I forgot to mention, climbing around underneath it, looks like it has a forward 9-inch under it. And I don't see a kickdown cable coming up to the carburetor. So that either means that it's lost somewhere down there, or it's a manual valve body Turbo 350, which is in this car. We're going to go with manual valve body Turbo 350 because I don't feel like climbing around up under it to check it out. Now usually I like to put some type of penetrating oil down in here, but since I know it rotates over, I mean, I don't know if it's got any ring ridge or a rust ring somewhere that we're going to hit in a second, but I just figured since it's already somewhat free, I'm just going to pour a little bit of motor oil down in here and lube up the cylinder walls before we start cranking on it, just to give them rings some lubrication, because I don't know how long it's been sitting since somebody tried to turn it over. So I'm under here, you know, trying to get something on the starter, and I figured I'd show you. Now y'all comment down below, tell me, I mean, to me it looks like a forward 9-inch. Not a bad setup for this rusty hunk of junk, so I mean, that's about worth it right there. The brackets don't look too bad. Looks like it was installed halfway decent. The brackets are fully welded around, you know, so I'm happy with it. So the reason why I put that on the starter is whenever you find crap like this twisted and taped in a big ball of copper, I don't trust whoever wired it to not burn itself down in my shop. So I'm going to hot wire it again, just like y'all seen me do with the Camaro. Just because the wiring is completely trash.
Papa, what are you doing over here?
Working on this car, Levi. What do you think about it?
It's still not working.
No, it's not working. So some of y'all might be wondering what battery are you putting in it. The one I have, that is that I had for the Camaro, top post and side post. Now we got our starter hot wired. Let's see if our starter is any good. We're gonna hope that it is. Probably need to get a clamp for this. Let's see it. It feels like it's pretty tight there. We've got our starter wire right here. Let's see if she'll roll over on her own. Yes! Sounds freaking good to me. I think there's an oil pressure gauge inside of there. Let's check and see if we've got oil pressure. I need y'all's help. Y'all tell me if there's oil pressure. I'm gonna go run the starter. Alright. Did we have oil pressure? Oh. Y'all are on camera. I'm by myself, as usual. So, y'all comment down below. Tell me what the oil pressure was. Whew! Man. Just had some lunch, guys. Tell you what. If y'all are ever in Satsuma, Alabama, stop into Bay City Grill and get you a burger. It will fill you up. I am full as a tick. So now that we know we got oil pressure, let's throw the plugs back in it. If any of y'all have ever wondered why spark plug sockets have where you can put a wrench on them, this is why. The socket is in there. You can't see it, but it's right behind this tube. You can't get your ratchet in there to it with any kind of extension, so 3/4 wrench is the only way to do it. So yeah, so your spark plug socket, 3/4 inch, fits perfect on it, and that's why. Here's my wiring setup. First, let me show you the ignition box. It'll probably be a little bit easier to explain. So this is MSD 6AL. It's pretty simple to wire up. You've got a heavy black, which is your ground. Now, you can maybe see up there, they had it done to the firewall, so I didn't even assume that was going to work because of how rusty the car is. So, heavy ground, I just got it going to a green for now. You've got a heavy red, which is your positive 12 volts off the battery. And then you've got a little red, which is your switched ignition. And that's how you wire up the MSD 6AL ignition. It's not difficult. So what we've got here, green, ground, then I've got my heavy red, and I've used black because that's all I had. A little bitty black, and that's my 12 volt ignition. So you watch right there, we should have spark. And we do. Woo, baby! That's what I'm talking about. So some of y'all might be wondering what I'm gonna use to fuel this bad boy. No, that's not blue Gatorade. That's Husqvarna 2-cycle engine oil and a little bit of gas. I'm gonna go ahead and fill the vents up, or fill the bowls up through the vents. See if it'll pull some. See if we've got some accelerator pump action. Smells like it. Sounds like it. Let's see if she'll fire up. Pour a little bit of gas down the yapperoni. Let me not stand in front of it just in case. A little bit of a pop. Come on, baby. Choke it up a little bit. Let me put all my spark plugs on. For one, I don't know why that's off. Watch out, son. Don't stand in front of it. Stand over there, baby. Levi. You'll sit down. There it goes. There it goes. There you go, baby. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Give it a little bit more accelerator pump. Yeah, come on. Probably out of gas now, but tell him, Levi, tell him. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's what I'm talking about, guys.
Yeah.
That is what I'm talking about, guys. Piece of crap sitting like this, running. Just a little bit of work. There's people that probably give up on this thing, but just like that. I mean, I've probably been out here. Levi, how long have I been outside? A couple hours? Couple hours. Original plugs that was in it. Same ignition. Didn't even pull the cap off the distributor. That's a testimony to these small block Chevys. These son of a guns would run on a submarine. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today, but I'm coming back here tomorrow. We're going to see if we can get this thing idling. Running off a gas tank that we just probably ratchet strap to the front of it. And then we'll see about moving around in the yard. I checked that transmission fluid earlier. It's full. So, I mean, it should be okay, in my opinion. It's gonna be a whole day for me, but it's gonna feel like 2 seconds for y'all. See you in just a bit. Well, we're back. Saturday. It's raining. It's been raining all morning. I was kind of hoping it was gonna stop raining. It slowed down a little bit, but we're just gonna have to work in the rain, I guess. Plan here is I'm gonna push the BMW back just a little bit. Get the front of the car out of the rain, because that's where I'm going to be most of the day. Probably going to jump in and see if it has a brake pedal, just to go ahead and just see if I have brakes. That would be awesome. Probably doesn't have brakes, and it's not on the list of what I'm going to do this weekend, so I don't know. We'll see. We don't have park and neutral, so we'll probably, if we can get it cruising around in the yard, we'll just put it in park if we need to stop. So let's get this crap pushed out of the way so I don't get covered in rain. Ha! Oh, gosh. I'm gonna tell y'all this hood cuts your hands. What was it playing? Cut my hands all up. I don't see any water in it. Don't feel any water, so we're just going through the list here, guys. If it's gonna run for more than 20 seconds, we need to put water in the radiator, so hopefully we don't find any leaks. I didn't take much water to bring it to a decent level, so at least it had some in it, and it's got a green hue to it, so it might have had some coolant in it. Probably gonna go ahead and hook up a gas tank in the front. That way, if it does pull anything, maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see the needle and seat hold on the double pumper. I mean, this car is I don't want to jinx myself, but this car has been doing pretty good. I mean, it might not have been sitting for as long as I thought. It just looks like it has. I mean, it hasn't fought me that much, so knock on wood. Knock on wood. All right, let's figure out a way to mount this gas can. We'll hold it for a second. Hang in there, Zip there. Just hold it for 1 second. So this is how you install a race tank right here. So I have a massive coolant leak right here at the upper rad hose. The carburetor's still fighting with me. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm thinking maybe it's the idle circuit's gummed up. I'm just gonna let it sit for a minute and think about itself while I fix this upper rad hose real quick. I tried to tighten up the clamp, but it just will not tighten up. So now, since I poured water in here, I'm just gonna pull this off and make a big mess. Oh! What the hell is this? That'd be why it wasn't moving no water. What the heck is that? Glad I stopped. At least it's got an O-ring. There's all the water. Bad idea. Bad idea. Oh my gosh. Now the dadgum water neck has a hole in it. Yep. Gotta love old cars. They build character. Crap. See if I got another water neck. Alright. Bolts ain't real long. Well, it doesn't need any fuel, but it pumped some then. It's got some in it. I got it up to 190. No fan, so I'm not going to run it no whole long time. I just want to get it, make sure it will come up to temp. Carburetor is going to need some cleaning. Oh my gosh, did the fellow who drove this, was he an Oompa Loompa? Ugh. Moment of truth. We've made it to this point of the program. Well, it was stuck. It broke free, but it's all the way to the floor. Gosh. No brakes. Let's see if we can just put some fluid in it. Does this seat adjust? Well, if I need to get out in a hurry, I'm in a bind. Not gonna make it out. Oh. Great. It's just rusty water looking stuff. Guys, here's the thing about brake fluid is it attracts water like nothing you've ever seen before. So it will, if it sits, it will find it some water somewhere and put it in there. So I'm gonna get my sucker out and suck all that out, and I'm just gonna hopefully pour some fluid in there and pump, 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 pump until it starts working again. Here's my little automatic blader. Nothing is happening, guys. Is anybody surprised? Yep, gonna be a fighter. Can already tell. Gosh. Yeah, this is super fun. It needs new calipers. Pretty bad. Probably needs hoses. But it's, unfortunately, it's just not in the cards for this car. See if that helps a lot. Nope. Situation has evolved. I'm now heating up the line coming from the master to see if we can even get fluid out of there. And of course the nut is trying to spin the line. We did get some success. We got the line out. It only turned a little bit. We saved it. A little bit of heat, a little bit of juice. But the problem here is I'm not getting any fluid out of that master, and it should be pouring out something, but it is not. I have another master in the shop, but it's for a Camaro, and I don't really feel like putting it on this turd. So we'll see. Alright, so I got the lovely assistant out here eating an apple. But I'm trying not to get this all over the camera because it's all over me. Got it leaking some now? Pump it, baby. So we're getting some fluid moving out of the master. We're going to call that a victory. I'm going to put the line back on and see if we can get some coming down to the caliper. Well, yes, we have a plan. It is not what I wanted to do, but we have a plan. I have this perfect master that I have had sitting on my shelf for a couple years that I was planning on putting in my Camaro that I haven't had time to finish it. So it looks like a good idea to put it on this turd. It looks to be exactly the same, so we're gonna throw it in hopes of maybe we can get some brakes. Okay, we're getting fluid out of the master. I can feel it pumping. It's leaking now. Not getting anything out of these lines, so hopefully it'll push whatever's got it jammed up out. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but the monsoon has started. Probably gonna do this all day too. Well, the rest of the day. I had a window, but these dadgum brakes killed me. Let's see if we can get anything out of this line down here now. Well, new plan here, guys. We hit a pretty big snag. I do believe every brake line is clogged. The new master, I got fluid coming out of the master, but I can't get a drop to come down to the front calipers. So it's more than likely gonna need all new brake lines, calipers, everything. So we're just gonna do what anybody will do in my situation, and we're just gonna jam this turd in gear. Hopefully I don't run into my BMW. And tootle it around in the yard. I mean, let's face it, this car, it's not worth the money and time it would take to fix that. So, bad as I hate to give up on something, that's what we're gonna have to do. The dog is hiding in the car from the rain. So, got a heavy green wire, that's my 12 volts coming. That's my jumper off of it for my starter. So, we'll just touch that, get it going. Got a pair of wire strippers for the key. Alright guys, here we go. I got it in neutral. I got some chalks behind it. Here's my wiring set up. Alright, so y'all remember how I said that it had enough ATF in it? Well, I was wrong. It sucked it all down into the pump and everything like that. So I was at Dirty Santa last night. And my good buddy Grant, he brought a Dirty Santa gift, and I got a kiwi. I don't know what it is, but looks to me, it looks like a new funnel. So I'm going to use it. Thanks, Grant. Nice silicone. Should be able to clean up real good. I got Primo ATF from the gas station. Because, well, let's face it. This drivetrain probably isn't going to live in this car. So I'm not going to spend the money on getting high dollar ATF. We just need something to keep it from burning the pump up. Man, this new funnel. This thing's pretty good. It seals. It's got a good seal to it. Got a good angle. Looks like a largemouth bass. Reverse. Neutral. It actually started up and it runs really good. Made it around in the yard. Didn't have any brakes, so I couldn't do a burnout, but I did tear up the grass just a little bit in a couple places. Hey, it's grass. It'll grow back.